Guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dimma from Dimma's Vlog. If today is your first time I'm coming across my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're welcome. My baby is saying welcome. As my old subscribers, thank you so much for for always supporting this channel. So guys, today I'm going to be sharing my story, my dating experience in India, and how I almost got married to an Indian man. So without wasting much of your time, let's get started with the video. um I studied in India, if you don't know, and I'm still in India. So there's this guy back in the university. There's this guy I met through on Facebook, and we started talking. An Indian man. We started talking at the time, and I found him interesting. And when he learned that I was living in the same city where he worked, he made arrangements for us to see. So that day I came and we started conversing. He was very open and so down to earth, unlike most Indians that are very reserved. If you don't know, Indians are reserved. So we started talking, we shared a lot of things, we talked about a lot of things, and he told me how he liked Africans, that in fact that throughout his days in the universities and most of his friends were Africans, that he just that maybe it's a mistake, he found himself in a wrong continent, that he would have loved to be an African, that he loved the way Africans are free to do whatever thing they want to do, like, this our free lifestyle of a thing, that he really loved it, that unlike them, most of them, that their parents had to dictate for them what to do even at old age. So we talked a lot of things, we talked about a lot of things, and after the whole thing, he went home and I found it very interesting to keep as a friend. That's how I kept him as a friend. Days went by, months went by, years went by. So there's this particular day he came to me, like he called me on phone, actually was then talking to me about marriage, like was like trying to ask me like my take on marriage, like what I think about marriage. So I shared with him my own thoughts about marriage and everything. So he said he shared the same thoughts with me, and he told me that he wants to, that even if that he doesn't want to marry, that even if he wants to marry at all, if at all he has to marry, it has to be a black girl, an African girl. So I laughed and I brushed it off. So after some months, he sent me some pictures of Indian ladies that his mother, because he happens to be the only child, the only son of his parents. So he sent me those pictures, that his mother sent him those pictures to select a lady for that, he like the mother wants to choose a lady for him to marry, because here most of them still practice arranged marriage, even though some of just a few number of them practice love marriage. So he was not asking me my opinion about. I said I don't have any problem with it, that if you want to marry, you should marry. So he said no, that he doesn't want to marry, that he wants to marry a black girl, that if I can arrange one for him, or if me myself is interested in marrying. So at the time, for me at the time, I was not even thinking about marriage, because then I think I was in year 2 in the uni, so I wasn't even thinking about marriage. So I told him that I'm not interested, and I don't have a black girl that's I can link them up. So he said, okay, I should just forget about it, and we continue being friends. And so every day this guy would call me. He was so interested in me, but he didn't know how to like openly tell me. It was later that he told me that he was scared of telling me, like opening up to me, that he thought that if he opens up to me um about his interest in me, that I might end the relationship, or I might end the friendship. So he didn't know. Every day he keeps telling me that I should find somebody for him, I should find a black girl for him to marry, that he was ready to do anything, and literally anything. He's a Hindu, so he said he was ready to even to abandon his religion to convert to Christianity, if that be the case, that he's ready to abandon his culture to start practicing African culture. It was just saying a whole lot of things. I told you I don't have anybody. If I had, I would have linked them up. So he said, okay, we continue being friends. So there's this particular day he called me, and this particular day he was so serious. Like he used to call me Chidimma. By the way, my name is Chidimma, so he used to call me Chidimma. So how was that night he called me, was like Chidimma, that he's so serious, that he loved me, blah 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 blah. That he was ready to wait until, even if for himself he doesn't want to marry. That is because of the pressure from his parents. That's why he wants to just fulfill his mother's wish, because his mother. What is it? His mother is getting old. He just wants to fulfill his mother's wish, all of that. So it was like I should just. He has invited me severally to his house, and on several occasions I've disappointed him. I never visited. So he had told me that I should please, that I should just, that he has talked to his parent. Can you imagine? He has gone to tell his parent that he has found an African girl to marry. Meanwhile, he's not even sure if the African girl is going to agree to marry him. See, like for me, I didn't see anything wrong marrying that girl or that guy, but there's a lot to consider when married. I considered, or rather, there's a lot to consider when marrying an Indian man, especially if you're an African, because their culture is quite different from our own culture. Like in my African culture, it's the man, the groom that pays the bride price, whereas in India, it's vice versa. It's the woman that pays the groom price, and whatever the groom family demands, that's what you provide. If they demand for gold, and most of the time it's always gold that they used to demand for. So if they demand for gold, that you provide that gold, whether you have the money or you don't have the money. Because I've had cases of groom family fighting the bride after marriage because her family is not able to provide the things they demanded. And again, there are situations where they might even pour you acid, or they might set you ablaze, or they might even kill you, they might even poison you because you're not able to meet up with the payment. So those are the things, like I was so scared of. If you ask me if the guy is okay, like to me, is he has every quality I would have loved, outside the fact that he has this, nobody is perfect, but I try to change him. He has this habit of sending his clothes to his mother to wash for him. To him, he said it's his mother's duty, because to them they believe that it's the mother's duty to do all the whole house chores. So which, at the time when I was with him, when we are together as friends, I cajoled him into doing some of those chores himself, and which he was doing at the time. So I think that is the only issue, the only aspect of him that I never liked. So aside from that, the thing that scares me most is that their culture. Like, I don't want a scenario where sorry mommy, what is it? You and your husband are on honeymoon, then you look at his family coming to attack you. I beg, I don't want that situation. So every day he keeps pleading with me. This guy begged me that I should just accept him. He told me he was ready, that even if I don't want to stay, like after our marriage, even if I don't want to stay in India, like we can relocate to anywhere we want and start our life. That he doesn't want to, that if he doesn't like get married to an African girl, that means there's possibility of him ending up with an Indian woman, which he doesn't want. That he's a very calm and cool-headed guy. He doesn't want a woman that will come in and start controlling him. You understand? That is his own fear. And again, it's not going to be a love marriage, it's going to be an arranged marriage, and that's what he was trying to avoid. So, and as I told him that I was not ready, and truly I wasn't ready for marriage. And again, this their culture. That is the thing, that it's one thing to marry him, it's another thing to go and start facing his people. I was so scared, like literally, I was so scared. So I told him that I was not ready for marriage. This guy begged me. He begged me. I told him I was not ready. That if he wants to end our friendship, he can end it. That I'm not ready. Then he said, okay, that no issue. That was how we stopped talking for some. I think we stopped talking for some months, and later there was a day he called me. He told me that he has changed his religion. Maybe he felt that by converting to Christianity that I would accept him. I feel so bad, but anyways, we move. So he posted, like, he used Bible to do his DP on WhatsApp. So he called me on that day, was like, that Chidima. We said, okay. He said, Chidima, that I'm not a Christian. I'm like, really? He said, yes. So I said, congrats. So he said, yeah. So he was not asking where I am I done with school? Then I was still in school. I think I was in my final year in the uni. So I told him that I'm still in school. He wanted us to see, but I didn't want, like, I was already running for my life. I don't want to start something I cannot finish. And I told him that I'm going back to my country. That once I'm done, I think I was writing my final exam in the uni then. That once I'm done, that in fact I've already booked my flights. I'm going back to my country. So he said, okay, that no issue. That was how our friendship ended, and we stopped talking. And I don't know, wherever he is, I pray that he finds somebody that will love him, will find the love of his life. I pray that God will just give him somebody that will care, like somebody, a perfect match for him. That is just my prayer, because that guy was really, he was a nice guy, seriously. Was this guy, this one Indian guy that I know, that think differently from India, from an average Indian guy. Was this guy that was very open, a guy that would, if I do something that is not worth doing, he would call me and tell me that this thing I did wasn't. It was literally opposite of an Indian. So that is it, guys. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and see you in my next one. Bye. Bye bye. Chikwa, say bye. Bye. Say bye. Say bye. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in my next one.